Hi there, it's March 15th and time for Proverbs 15. Over there, see, we got the wrong screen up already. That's what we want up, but too late. So, and today, Proverbs 15 is one of my favorite ones. This one, most of it is about arguing, okay? Arguing with your significant other, with your friends, strangers sometimes, but arguing, nobody's any good at it. I mean, some people are, but, and bless them, but arguing is what happens when you want to get your point across to somebody, and moreover, you want them to agree with your point over their point, okay? And that's what causes yellings and stuff. So, but this is interesting. This deals with that, okay? Verse 1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Okay. And over here it says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Okay. You'd be surprised how you can diffuse a situation just by speaking softly and not yelling. Okay. Very wise words. Verse 2. The tongue of the wise dispenses knowledge, but the mouths of fools pour out folly. Makes knowledge good. Now, this isn't really about arguing, but and you don't want to say that to the person you're arguing with, you know, mouth of fools pouring out folly. Yeah. The tongue of the wise makes knowledge acceptable, it says over here, or good. Verse 3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place. Keeping watch on the evil and the good. Like that. The Lord sees everything. There's more on arguing. A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. It's over here. A soothing tongue is a tree of life, but perversion in it crushes the spirit. Right. It's gentle. So, you know, the wisest people, you know, always speak very softly. And when you speak softly, people they do this because they listen. They get quiet and they listen. But perverseness in it, or perversion in your tongue, breaks the spirit. You don't want to talking quiet and saying perverted things. That's just weird. Okay. Verse 5. A fool despises his father's instruction, but he who heeds admonition is prudent. Well, that's a mouthful, huh? Over here it says, he who regards reproof is sensible. Right? Heeds admonition. Well, that's a mouthful. There are simpler ways to say that, you know. Regards reproof is sensible. Okay? In the house of the righteous there is much treasure, but trouble befalls the income of the wicked. Right? Ill-gotten gains. In the house of the righteous there is much treasure. Yeah. The people that steal their money, they're always looking over their shoulders, you know, afraid somebody's after them. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so the minds of fools. Got that? The lips of the wise spread knowledge. Spread knowledge. But you know, I mean, if you know something and somebody needs to hear wise stuff, tell them. Not in a mean way. Tell them in a gentle tongue. That's a tree of life. And you don't want to go up there and say, what's wrong with you? That's not the right way to open a conversation, all right? Gentle tongue, you know, spread knowledge. You see somebody doing something that you know, a much easier way you could go with a gentle word and say, I know a much easier way to do that. Save you a lot of time. Can I show you? There you go. They're going to go, yeah. I've done that a lot. Verse 8, the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. Okay, now this is something we talk about whenever we come across it. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord. Wicked people, they call them philanthropists, and you don't need to mention any names. Really rich, evil people that give I'm donating to the goodness out of the goodness of my heart. And they're wicked people, okay? God doesn't like that, okay? He would rather hear the prayer of the upright than have these wicked billionaires giving to people for their own gain. Okay? And further, the way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he loves him who pursues righteousness. Okay? The sacrifice of the wicked and the ways of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord. Don't be wicked. Verse 10, there is severe discipline for him who forsakes the way. He who hates reproof will die. Wow. He mentions this here a lot in Proverbs. The way. Right? The way. And that was a huge movement in the 70s and 80s. I remember the way. There was a Bible called The Way. Oh. Forsakes the way. Sheol and Abaddon lie open before the Lord. Sheol and Abaddon, I didn't say abandon. Sheol and Abaddon lie open before the Lord. How much more the hearts of men. Okay. What's this? This says, place of destruction, and that's hell. The netherworld. So the netherworld and the place of destruction lie open before the Lord. How much more the hearts of men. Okay. That's worth highlighting. Sees everything you do, every feeling you have. God sees it. Okay. A scoffer does not like to be reproved. He will not go to the wise, right? Because they think they already know everything. There's a good old verse. And you can't. I heard this so much as a kid that you can't help but say it in the King James, right? Yeah, a glad heart makes a cheerful countenance, but is sorrow of the heart. But by sorrow of heart, the spirit is broken. And over here, a joyful heart makes a cheerful face, but when the heart is sad, the spirit is broken. And you may remember it's a cheerful heart doeth good like medicine, right? Okay. If you have a heartache, that breaks your spirit. It does. 14, the mind of him who has understanding seeks knowledge, but the mouths of fools feed on folly or foolishness. Oh, that's true. 15, all the days of the afflicted are evil, but a cheerful heart has a continual feast. Okay? A cheerful heart has a continual feast. Now, I've known some very poor people, okay, that are just happy, and you can't break their spirit, okay? They're a joy to be around, even though they have nothing. 16, better is a little with fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble with it, right? Better to have little and revere the Lord than to be rich and have all the trouble that comes with it, okay? I mean, you see all these rich people. I mean, you can't help it. They're always in the news, okay? And they're always in rehab, and they're always in court, and, people are after them. It's just like, oh, the trouble. And, having a lot of money, it's just not worth all the trouble that comes with it. Okay? It's just not worth it. There you go. We used to call this the Thanksgiving verse right here. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a fatted ox and hatred with it. And it. Sometimes it's better to stay home and eat a salad than to have steak with people that just, that's just some family members. That's why I call it the Thanksgiving verse. So your family, you hardly ever see them. You end up fighting and arguing and throwing things, and then the cops get called, and then it's awkward, right? Better to stay home. 18, a hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger quiets contention. Okay, now this has everything to do with arguing, okay? Slow to anger, quiet contention. Okay? Hot-tempered guy is not the kind of person you want to argue with. Okay? The way of a sluggard is overgrown with thorns, but the path of the upright is a level highway. Right? Lazy people. 20. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish man despises his mother. Okay? I mean, you wonder why. We're going to have a lot of highlights today. It was one of the 10 commandments. Honor your father and mother. One of the big 10, okay? And if you don't, it's just said in there, if you don't, you will die. It's just that simple. You will die. You have to honor your parents, no matter what. You just have to honor your parents. 21. Folly, foolishness, is a joy to him who has no sense. But a man of understanding walks aright, or walks straight. Fools love their foolishness, Crazy. 22, without counsel, plans go wrong, but with many advisors, they succeed. Right. You want to do something? Start a business or anything? Find some wise people who have done it successfully. Okay? When I started my internet firm back in 1995, one of the first ones, and this was in California, there was a place called SCORE, SCORE, which stood for the Service Corps of Retired Executives. And they had offices in malls and shopping centers, and you could go there, and for free, there was always 3 or 4 guys in there who were retired professional executives who knew their stuff, wise men like he's talking about. And you could go there, and they would help you write your business plan. They would help you avoid the pitfalls, what to do. Lots of wise counsel, and you're successful because you listen to the wise counsel. I don't know if the Service Corps of Retired Executive SCORE is still out there, and they may be, but and I could be one of those. I could be one of those now. It's a retired executive. So, but yeah, I'll look into. What was that? Oh yeah, that was here. Think about that. Many advisors. Okay. And you want to talk to wise people. You don't want to talk to stupid people. Okay. Unless you want to know how to fail, then, they can tell you what not to do. Okay? Don't paint a sign on your truck and drive around and start knocking on doors without a plan. Okay? 23. To make an apt answer is a joy to a man, and a word in season, how good it is. Wow, that's kind of tongue twister, isn't it? What's it say over here? A man has joy in an apt answer, and how delightful is a timely word. Right? Some people are good at saying just the right thing at just the right time. That always feels good. 24, the wise man's path leads upward to life, that he may avoid Sheol beneath, the netherworld or hell. 25, the Lord tears down the house of the proud, but maintains the widow's boundaries. And 26, the thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord. The words of the pure are pleasing to him. So that goes with That was yellow. Read all these together. And we will. We'll tie all this together because it'll be fun. 27. He who is greedy for unjust gain makes trouble for his household, but he who hates bribes will live. Right? He who profits illicitly troubles his own house. Yeah. Remember, like some of the old TV shows or the mafia, you know, they have this beautiful home and this beautiful wife and these beautiful kids, and he's actually out in the mafia robbing and killing people, and, you know, he brings trouble for his household sooner or later. 28. The mind of the righteous ponders how to answer. Ooh. But the mouth of the wicked pours out evil things. Now, what's we're using green for that one, okay? I'm going to tie all these together too. More about arguing. The mind of the righteous ponders how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil things. Okay? Somebody says something and you wait. Ponder your answer. Think. Say it in your head before it comes out of your mouth. The wicked just start yelling. It's good. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. It's a good one. 29. 30. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart, and good news refreshes the bones. Yes, it does. Bright eyes gladden the heart. Bright eyes. You know, so somebody has good news, they're asking, but their eyes are bright. Hey! You know, and their eyes are big and they're excited, and it makes you feel good. See somebody excited like that. 31. He whose ear heeds wholesome admonition will abide among the wise. Wow, that's a tongue twister too. New American Standard. He whose ear listens to life-giving reproof will dwell among the wise. Yeah, that's a good one. 32. He who ignores instruction despises himself, but he who heeds admonition or instruction gains understanding. That's kind of interesting. Despises himself. Now here's a good one. 33. The fear of the Lord is instruction in wisdom, and humility goes before honor. Okay? Reverence, fear, awe, respect for the Lord is instruction in wisdom. That's the first thing, how to get wisdom. You know, and he says in the very beginning of Proverbs, fear the Lord. The first step to wisdom is fear the Lord. And humility goes before honor. That's a huge one. Being humble is absolutely huge. Why did Moses lead everybody, millions of people, out of Egypt and across the desert? Because he was humble. It says in, I think, Numbers, he was the most humble man on earth, and there was no one that was more humble than Moses. So, we know that because we're going through the Bible in a year in another video series, so check that out. So there's Proverbs 15. See what we highlighted. Now we highlighted things by color, and we're going to read them by color, just about. Okay, let's talk about arguing. Okay, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Right? Soft answer. Okay, and another green one, verse 4. A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. All right. And 18. A hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger quiets contention. Okay. And 28. The mind of the righteous ponders how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil things. So you get an idea about arguing. It's all about being gentle, pondering your answers before you just blurt out stuff. Slow to anger. Okay, control your temper. Okay, gentle tongue, quiet, gentle, soft answer turns away wrath. Okay? And there's other rules too, the rules of arguing, but that could be a whole study in itself. The main thing is never to call somebody names. Never, ever, ever, ever. Okay? Because that's the harsh word that stirs up anger. Okay, calling somebody, you're a jerk. Okay, that's not the way to do it. Okay? And we talked about the evil and their sacrifices. Those are all yellow, and we'll run all those together. Right? The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. Okay? That's 8 and 9. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he who loves him pursues righteousness. So the sacrifice of the wicked, the way of the wicked, all the days of the afflicted are evil, but a cheerful heart has a continual feast. Verse 15. Verse 26, the thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord. The words of the pure are pleasing to him. Right? He doesn't like wicked people. You get that idea? He doesn't like their sacrifices. Okay? Or he doesn't like their gifts. He doesn't like their ways. He doesn't like their thoughts. So, and I mean, there's some wicked people. I mean, some wicked people are absolutely famous, Yeah. And what did we highlight that was pink here? The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so the mind of fools. A glad heart makes a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. Right. Better is dinner of herbs where love is than a fattened ox and hatred with it. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish man despises his mother. Pretty cool, huh? And what's blue? He who regards reproof is sensible. Right? Somebody's correcting you, take it in. Regard it. Be good for you. We're going over the blue stuff now. Shoal and abandon the nether world, and I forgot already. And the place of destruction, hell, lie open before the Lord. How much more the hearts of men? Right? God sees everything. Okay? 16, better is a little with fear of the Lord than great treasure and the trouble that goes with it. Right. Absolutely. Why are rich people always in the news? Because they're always in trouble. Money is corrupt, is corrosive. And 2, we talked about this, without counsel, plans go wrong, but with many advisors, they succeed. And he who ignores instruction despises himself, but he who heeds instruction or admonition gains understanding. That goes along with this one right here. Okay? So, if you're going to do something, get some advice from people who've done it and done it successfully. People who have done stuff and done stuff successfully will always be glad to tell you how they did it. Okay? A good person will always, they'll always, that's why they get so many interviews, okay? It's because, Trump wrote the book, on how to be successful in what he does, the art of the deal. And he was always getting interviewed and always giving advice, and he was always open to that. And anybody, like the Service Corps retired executives, there's thousands of them that are more than happy to give you advice because they don't want to see you fail. A wise, successful person does not want to see anybody fail. So there you have it. That's Proverbs 15. Lots of good stuff in there today. So any questions, ask me. We may do some studies on some of these, like arguing and stuff. Okay. Am I good at arguing? Yeah. Do it up. Because you do. Everybody argues. So and other stuff. Catch up on any of my mess. Give us a like if you think about it. Stay tuned later for Through the Bible in 1 Year. We are on day 75, and we're still in Deuteronomy. They're getting ready to go over to the Promised Land, and pretty soon, I imagine, Moses is not going with them. But we'll do that. Till then, stay humble. Remember, always look for advice. See ya. Hi there. A quick side note on today's study. I was over here talking about verse 16. Better is a little with fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble with it. And I mentioned that money is evil and corrosive, okay? And I misspoke there. I need to correct that so I don't get lots of comments. Money is not evil and corrosive, but the love of money is evil and corrosive. It talks all over Proverbs about if you follow wisdom and if you do everything the Lord says, then riches and honor will come, okay? And money is not evil. The love of money is evil. And a lot of the problems with people today is that they worship money, or mammon, it calls it, and not the Lord. So, just had to straighten that out, okay? So, have a good day. See you tomorrow.